Okay, so I have the graphic centered. I have a midpoint that I can use as a reference. I'm just going to zoom in and just do half of it. So I have the ellipse tool window shaded out, reset the fill to the stroke, take the fill off, and just create. Now I can hold the Option key. It's going to center it right there. Kind of give me a little heads up there. So that's the central piece. The part that is more of this stem, just using the space bar to bring it down. Command key to turn it to the arrow to deselect. And just kind of create this vertical stem for starters. And now, using the pen tool, again clicking the command to deselect everything, I click down inside the stem and just go all the way to the edge here and drag out these handles. That's going to give me that piece pretty accurately. So I can continue to use that method. Go all the way to the central part. And spacebar just to bring it down. Bring that part down. I'm doing the same with this one. So I'm pretty quickly able to put that together. With these selected, I'm just going to Shift key to select them all. And I'm going to group them just temporarily. And then take the Reflect tool from the rotation and click right on that midpoint of the ruler guide. Click Option. That's going to bring up the Reflect panel. When I hit Preview, you can see that it's going to flip it over. I just have to make sure that I hit Copy. And that lines that piece up. Okay. So now I have this first part created, and I can group this section and group these two. So now these two I've just grouped together, and now I can select these two and just up in the Align panel just to make sure they're aligned. They were. So now I have this section right here. So I'm just going to group that together. Now before I rotate it, I just want to make sure that I have the circle drawn. So I'm going to take the ellipse tool, and from the center, notice the midpoint is over, kind of go halfway in between, go up into the stroke up in the top or on the stroke panel. And this is the easiest way to make a circle within the circle. Once this is just a stroke, under Object, go to Path and outline the stroke, and it creates it so it's on the outer edge. It's still a fill, but if I switch this, you can see that it has both of the points in there. If it's too thick, then I do have to go back and modify it a bit. So just go back a couple under Edit Undo and just reduce this down a couple. And now do the same thing. Outline that stroke. And just switch it so you can see it. So that's a little better. So now I have this shape up here. I've grouped it together. And take the rotation tool, hold the Option and click in the center, and it's already jumped over just a point there. But there's 12 of these coming around. I think, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 of them. So if you can do the math, you can in your head, or you can just do 360 divided by 10. And if you hit Preview, it'll show you where it's going to jump over to. Just hit Copy, and before you do anything, keep Command D, hit 8 more times. And now you have all of this part going around in that section. And the next part is this smaller piece. So I'm going to lock the top of this, hide the section at first, and then go back to the layer that has the scan. And this is the part that I want to take a look at to try to rotate. So I select it, take the rotation tool. If I just click, it'll give me that center of rotation. I'm going to try it right in the midpoint, see how close I get. Let's see if I can't get it close. It's kind of close, a little bit. See if I can get a section there. So I'm using the arrow keys, and right here I'm going to use that point again. So with the rotation tool, pretty accurate. So I'm going to keep that there, go back to lock it, go back to this layer, and you can kind of see this section right here. So it's on top of it. I'm just going to use it to help me with the drawing. So I'm going to create it on a new layer, zoom in a little bit so I can see it, and do the same thing. This is a circle with the option. Okay, reset this so that it has just the stroke. Come down here, set the midpoint of that one right there. While these are both early in the stages, just go ahead and line it up, make sure it's centered, and then do the same with this. I'm just going to use the line segment tool this time and increase the point size of this. And while it's there, just go to Object, Path, and outline the stroke. And so now I can just Option, drop that down. Or just as easy, take another line segment and do the same. Increase that twice, and go to Path, outline the stroke. And so now I have two of these items. And just take the Reflect tool, Option, and click right in the middle. Copy that over. Okay, so now I have the entire part, and under the Pathfinder, just going to unify it. So now I have that section. And you'll notice that when I do it this direction, and I'm still using this center line. There's 10 of these as well. So I take the rotation, Option, and click in there. And again, 360 divided by 10. Preview. And copy that across. And there it is, 10 across. So here it is. I'm going to group it and copy it. So now I have it on the pasteboard, and here's the layer that it's going to go into. And go to Edit. If you put Paste, it'll just place it anywhere on the page. So I'm going to undo that. If I do Edit and Paste in Place, it'll bring it together. But before I do that, before I paste it, right now it's on the pasteboard. I'm just going to select this piece and unify it that way. So now when I go to Edit, Paste into Place, it's right into the middle there. And now it's going to rotate just a little section across, so I can click on the rotation tool and place it over this direction, and it'll place it to that particular section. Okay. So once you have that part, I actually have to clip it off a little bit here, so I might have to backtrack a little. But that's the center rotation. So if I want to rotate it from here, I can double click on this tool, and it'll show it's going to be about 30 degrees. And that'll give you the center rotation to come across. Okay. Give that one a try. Once you have that part, again, paste in place. Just going to put it right there. The rotation tool. Place it right there. And now you have that section. And here you can unify it, give it that color. I have to go back and fix the trimming on this part right here.